Hi, I'm Dennis Schaefer here at S&S Cycle. If you've had a chance to view the recently released video on the new Stealth air cleaner, you are probably familiar with the concept behind the Stealth Performance Air Cleaner. The concept of Stealth is to equip your motorcycle with performance parts, yet have it be difficult for an observer to see that the bike has been modified. The Stealth components are concealed beneath the original air cleaner, and the motorcycle retains a very stock appearance. Bikes like this are sometimes referred to as a sleeper. But maybe you like to strut your stuff. S&S has released a series of air cleaner covers that visually complement the Stealth air cleaner. These custom, less restrictive covers have the advantage of further enhancing performance by permitting greater airflow to the underlying Stealth components. More flow means more power. The custom cover line includes the Airstream, the next generation of our famous teardrop cover, the domed bobber cover, dished bobber covers, and the muscle cover. All covers are available in show finish chrome or blackjack wrinkle black. In this video, we will cover the installation of the muscle cover with the Stealth air cleaner. In the case of the muscle air cleaner cover installation, the stock cover will not be retained. So let's start by removing the stock Sportster cover, air filter, backing plate, and the throttle body support bracket. Then place them for sale on eBay because they will not be reused. See, that was easy. If you are unfamiliar with the removal of the stock airbox, refer to the manufacturer's service publications. Proper shop practices dictate that we disconnect the electrical system before beginning any work. We can do that by removing the maxi fuse. On vehicles without a maxi fuse, disconnect the battery's negative cable at the negative terminal. Let's begin the installation. Take the new backing plate and thread the 3 fasteners supplied with the kit through the plate. Place the new backing plate gasket from the kit over the fasteners. Make sure the gasket faces correctly. The vent passage must be open. The gasket should fit only one way. If you are installing muscle on an S&S Super E or Super G carburetor, the kit's gasket will not be used. So, it is necessary to remove the cables and attach them elsewhere. Compress the brass rivets that hold the cable loops to the gasket and remove the cables from the gasket. Discard the gasket for Super E and Super G usage. The cable end loops will be relocated and secured underneath the 2 outboard float bowl screws. We have removed a carburetor here for clarity, however the cables can be installed without removal of the carburetor from the engine. Loosen 1 screw at a time and position the cable loop underneath the screw. Rotate the cables so that the eyelets and cables are pointing outward as shown. Then tighten each screw securely. So back to our installation. Place 1 new rubber-coated washer from the kit on both breather bolts. Pass the breather bolts through the holes in the backing plate and place another rubber-coated washer on each breather bolt. Sparingly apply blue Loctite 243 to each of the 5 fasteners. Do not use too much and avoid getting any Loctite on the gasket surface. Position the assembly against the carburetor or throttle body. Hand start the threads of the 5 fasteners. Now that the backing plate is correctly positioned, torque each of the 3 fasteners to 72 inch-pounds. Be very careful to tighten and torque the fasteners evenly. Normally, only 1 rubber gasket will be required to seal the backing plate to the cylinder head. However, it is possible that the tolerance stack-up may require additional washers. Because of that possibility, we have thoughtfully provided additional washers in each kit. Using a feeler gauge, measure the clearance, if any, with the plate's fasteners torqued. If there is no clearance using the 1 washer, or if it is less than a washer's thickness, then final torque both breather bolts. If the clearance present is greater than the thickness of a washer, then add additional washers as required to each breather bolt between the backing plate and cylinder head. Now that the clearance is correct, final torque both breather bolts to 10 to 12 foot-pounds. Apply a small amount of blue Loctite 243 to the threads of both pin studs. Then set them aside for installation later. The filtering element has been pre-oiled, so no additional filtering oil is needed at this time. Place the large diameter of the filter element on the backing plate. Now install the filtered top plate. Make sure that the S&S logo is at the top and that the word down and the arrow are at the bottom. Line the holes with the threaded studs. Thread both pin studs into the threaded studs. Tighten until secure, but do not fully tighten yet. An important note here, make sure that the holes in the pin studs are horizontal in order to correctly position the linchpins later. Rotate the pins to place the holes in the proper position. But remember, while aligning the pins to the correct position, do not make the pin studs too loose or too tight. Place the outer chrome filter cover over the pin studs. There is no direction of installation. It can be installed either way. Place a washer, then the cover spring, and another washer onto one side's pin stud. Place the linchpin through the loop in the cable. While compressing the spring, push the linchpin through the hole in the pin stud. Position the cable to the outside as shown, and flip the linchpin retaining ring over. Then, repeat the procedure for the other linchpin and cable. If you don't have the necessary tools or don't feel comfortable performing this installation, have your S&S dealer's trained technicians take care of this for you. Some late-breaking news that just came our way. If you are looking for additional filtering to flow greater amounts of air, the 1-inch taller filter can also be installed. Just use the standoffs that will raise the height of the pin studs and you are good to go. One last thing. Reinstall the maxi fuse and you are ready to flex your new muscle.